There are days when you don't understand why you're this exhausted, even though nothing truly heavy has happened. You just feel your heart sink, as if you were carrying a backpack full of stones and you don't even know who put them there. All you know is that the older you get, the heavier that backpack becomes, and you still have to grit your teeth and keep walking. Sometimes you quietly ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Why is it that every time I want to start something, my heart tightens as if someone was squeezing it? You may not realize it, but along the journey of your life, there have been sentences that carved themselves into your memory even deeper than the things you tried so hard to hold on to. A cold start, a critical comment thrown out in anger, a careless accusation meant as a joke but driven into your heart like a nail. You thought it had passed, but in reality, it stayed inside you like an ink stain on white paper the more you try to wipe it off. The darker it appears. Sometimes you don't even remember the face of the one who said those words, but you remember exactly the sharp, stabbing feeling in your chest. And then, every time you want to break through, a very small voice rises up inside. Don't try. You're going to fail again. Or another voice speaks, so familiar that you mistake it for your own thoughts. You don't deserve to be loved. No one needs to repeat those words anymore, because you yourself have been unconsciously repeating them for years. A label that seemed meaningless when it was placed on you as a child quietly became the frame you live inside as an adult. No matter how strong you are, those labels still find ways to sneak in and decide how you see yourself. They're not loud, but they're relentless. They don't tear you apart in an instant, but they wear you down little by little, until you start to believe that you really cannot change. You keep going, but you're not truly free. You keep trying, but you don't really believe in yourself. You keep smiling, but deep inside you can still hear the sound of chains dragging across a stone floor. There will come a moment when you look into the mirror and realize that the reflection staring back at you is no longer the person God created. It is a version edited by people's words, wounds, and prejudices. And perhaps the very moment you recognize that is also the moment when God gently touches your soul and reminds you that He never once approved that file about you. You may not know it yet, but in His eyes, no label has enough authority to hold you down. No human conclusion has enough power to lock up your soul. And what you are about to step into today is not a repetition of old wounds, but a journey where you finally see yourself in the true light, the light you have longed for all these years, but never had the words to ask for. You know, sometimes we are not exhausted because life is too heavy, but because we've been carrying things that should have been put down a long time ago. A sentence someone said, a judgmental look, an unintentional disappointment. All of it stays in your mind, like little sticky notes someone slapped on you before walking away. At first, you think you'll forget. But strangely, the things that hurt you cling to your memory far more stubbornly than anything beautiful. Do you remember how it felt as a child to be praised? It was nice. Yes, but you forgot it within minutes. Yet the times you were scolded, criticized, compared, you carried those moments through your whole childhood. That's not because you're weak. That's just how the human brain works. The brain is wired to prioritize pain over joy in order to protect you. But the problem is, on the road to growing up, that protection mechanism slowly turns into a rope tightening around your freedom. If you were ever called useless, you'll notice that every time you're about to do something important, that sentence shows up right on cue. If someone once called you broken, unlikable, or said no one could ever really love you, then even if you've changed so much today, you may still doubt other people's affection toward you. Those toxic labels are like spiritual tattoos. Someone marked them onto you at a time when you had no power to choose. Yet you ended up having to carry them for life. I don't know exactly what words you've heard. Maybe they came from your parents in a moment of anger. Maybe from a teacher you tried your best to impress. Maybe from an ex you trusted far too much. And it's also possible that on your most exhausted days, you yourself said things that deeply wounded your own heart. But do you know what the saddest part is most of the time? We don't realize we're living according to the labels others put on us. A person who once heard they were not capable grows up terrified of trying new things, even though deep down they carry so much potential. A person who once heard they were hard to love will later constantly try to please everyone, terrified of being abandoned, convinced they're never good enough. Someone who heard you will never amount to anything, will unconsciously choose only the safest paths, because they're afraid that failing will prove those words right. It's not that they lack talent. It's not that they don't deserve love. It's just that they unconsciously want to make sense of the old label, so they won't have to face the fear of being seen as wrong. Those poisonous labels don't just hurt you, they shape your habits, steer your choices, and even color the way you look at your future. Have you ever sat in front of your computer, opened a project you genuinely love, and then closed it again because of the feeling, "I'm not good enough for this," or stepped into a beautiful relationship, only to pull back because you thought, "Someone like me doesn't deserve this"? You think that's just your personality. But it isn't. It's only the echo of your past. The irony is that many people have changed a lot, become more capable, wiser, stronger, yet their minds are still stuck at the moment they were deeply hurt. It's as if they are trying to run forward, but an invisible rope tied around their waist keeps yanking them back. When you can't see the rope, you naturally assume that you are the problem. But in truth, the problem is not you. The problem lies in the things you chose to believe at a time when you were not yet strong enough to resist. You may not clearly remember who said those hurtful words, but your body remembers how it felt. The stab in your chest, the chill down your spine, the silence you had to swallow, that feeling of being small and powerless. Those things have quietly lived inside you for so long that you started to mistake them for parts of who you are. What I want you to know right now is this: you are not wrong. You are not weak. You are simply carrying an old file that life tossed at you by accident. That file is full of red stamps, crossed out lines, and conclusions about you that are not true. But you are not obligated to live by it. Everyone reaches a point where they finally realize, "I don't want to carry this label anymore." And if you're watching this video, there is a good chance you are standing in that very moment. The moment when a person starts to look at themselves, not through the eyes of their wounds, but through a deep longing to be truly free. You don't have to hide your past. You only have to stop letting it drive. Because you weren't born to live under labels. You were born to choose your own name, and you deserve that. You know, when it comes to the labels people stick on us, I always think of the story of Mary Magdalene. It's hard to imagine what it feels like to be placed by an entire society into the category of unworthy, unclean, not good enough. And the most painful part isn't what people say, it's the moment you begin to believe they must be right. I often picture her on quiet evenings, a woman living under the constant glare of other people's scrutiny, where every step she took echoed with whispers from the past. They didn't call her by her name. They called her by the label they had chosen for her. They looked at her like a stain that could never be washed away. And you know how it goes when someone is stared at like that for long enough. They can start to believe they truly are that stain. Can you imagine the scene? An old street, dusty, with the sun stretching long shadows across the ground. A woman holding herself close, trying to shield her body from eyes that cut like knives. She no longer recognized who she was. All that remained were the words the world had spoken over her, and those words almost stole her inner voice completely. But then came a day unlike any other, a moment that changed her entire life. She met Jesus Christ. What was extraordinary wasn't only what he did, but the way he looked at her. He didn't look at her past record, the record the world had tried to press into her hands for years. He didn't stare at her failures, or the verdicts, or the accusations. He looked past all of that and saw the real person within, the one she herself had lost a long time ago. Do you know what touched her the most? It wasn't a miracle. It wasn't a dramatic event. It was a silence filled with understanding, the presence of someone who didn't measure her by the labels life had handed her, but by the worth she truly carried. Sometimes, it only takes one person seeing you the right way for you to begin believing you are not what your past says you are. And then there's that well-known story: people arrived with stones in their hands, ready to end her life. They believed they had the right to decide whether she deserved to live. But Jesus stood between her and those stones. He didn't preach a long sermon. He didn't use complicated arguments. He spoke one sentence that silenced the crowd. Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone. Simple yet powerful enough to shift the entire atmosphere. No one could throw a single stone. They came carrying labels to accuse, but they had to leave in silence. And there she stood, a trembling woman, yet for the first time in her life, feeling what it was like to be seen through eyes that did not condemn. That moment is like when you're drowning in painful memories, and someone places a hand on your shoulder and says softly, "You are not what they said about you." You don't need to understand theology to feel this. You don't need lofty principles. You only need to know this meeting, the right person, at the right time, can completely change how you see yourself. Mary's story reminds you that the past does not have the authority to keep writing your future. People can say many things. The world can attach countless labels, and you may have carved some of those words into your own heart over time. But none of that is your definition. She was once called a sinful woman, yet later, she became the first chosen witness of the resurrection. That alone is a message. What people once assumed about you does not limit what you can become. Maybe you're like her, walking through unfair judgment, carrying stairs you didn't ask for. Maybe you've been pushed into a corner where you never even had the chance to defend yourself. Or maybe you've allowed others, many times, to write lines into your life that were never true. But today, as you hear this story, I hope one thing settles deep within you. You are not the file people wrote about you. You are the story God is writing, and He never rewrites your life using the ink of your past. You know, letting go of old labels isn't always easy. We carry them for so long that sometimes we forget we're even wearing them. But there will come a moment like today when you suddenly realize you don't want to keep living under those assumptions anymore. And that realization alone is already a step toward freedom. The first thing you need to do isn't to struggle harder or rush to get over it. It's to dare to look straight at what once hurt you, not to punish yourself, but to understand that your feelings have a reason. When you remember a sentence that once tightened your chest, allow yourself to admit, yes, that really did hurt. Even that can make you feel lighter. As if you've turned on a lamp in a room that's been dark for far too long, one no one dared to enter. And when that light appears, you'll begin to see what has been quietly controlling you for years. You'll realize it wasn't that you were weak, it was that old words clung to you at a time when you weren't yet strong enough to resist them. Once you see it clearly, you can return those words to where they belong. No anger required. No need to prove anything. Just a quiet decision in your heart: I'm not living by this anymore. That decision is like taking down an old sign that was hung in the wrong place, gentle but firm. When that space opens up, your mind will need something new to fill it. Otherwise, the old voices tend to come back simply because they're familiar. So this is the moment you begin speaking to yourself the words you may have never been given. You can say them softly: I'm learning. I'm getting better little by little. Or, I deserve to be kind to myself. You're not pretending life is perfect. You're retraining your inner voice, the one that has been twisted by too many other people's judgments. You might find it strange at first, because these words can sound unfamiliar, like they don't belong to you. But as you repeat them, slowly, you'll begin to feel something shifting. It's like opening the window of a room that has been shut for a long time, and fresh air starts to pour in. There's no rush. Change always begins gently. And here is something very important. Let what you believe step out of your mind and become real words. When you speak out loud, you make it tangible, you give it shape in your world. You can speak slowly, as if you're whispering to your own heart, I'm not living under the old label anymore. I'm stepping into the version of me that is truly mine. And the strange thing is, the moment you say it, you may feel a lightness settling over your shoulders, like something invisible has quietly fallen away from the inside. You don't need complicated rituals, and you don't need to force anything dramatic. Freedom sometimes arrives through the smallest movements within the soul. All it takes is a decision from today on. You will no longer give other people the right to define who you are. You reclaim the authority over your own life. You take back the right to name yourself. And you'll notice something tender: the past no longer gets to lead you. It's only an old chapter, and you are learning to hold the pen again, to write what comes next. Even if you write slowly, even if your hands tremble, even if you don't yet know how still, you are writing. That is what matters most. You deserve to live without carrying the verdicts others placed on your shoulders. And you are beginning to do that right now. My friend, if your heart feels a little heavy in this moment, just take one slow breath. You don't have to push yourself to be strong. We're simply sitting here for a moment, you and I, and in this quiet space, I want to pray for you with the sincerity of someone walking beside you. Lord Jesus Christ, I place this friend of mine into your gentle hands. I know there are wounds they thought they had forgotten, yet the truth is they still ache when night falls. Please touch the places no one sees, the places they have hidden because they were afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of being seen as weak. Let them feel this clearly: they are not alone. Lord, if there are words from the past that once made them bow their head in shame, please gently lift those words off their soul. If there are memories that made them doubt themselves, let them see that you have never looked at them through that lens. If they were ever called names that never belonged to them, call them by the name you intended from the beginning, a name filled with love, with dignity, and with hope. Calm the parts of their soul that still tremble. Fill the empty places where judgment and pain carve deep wounds. Place within them a peace that doesn't come because everything is perfect, but because they know you are walking with them in every step. Give them the courage to step out of the shadow of the past, the gentleness to forgive themselves, and the strength to believe their future is no longer confined by what has already happened. Lord, I ask you to rewrite their story line by line, page by page, not with old ink, but with new light. Lift them up and let them know they were not born to live under an old sentence, but to become the beautiful work of art you formed from the very beginning. My friend, if you're ready, whisper an Amen in your heart, not as a ritual, but as a full stop, an ending to what has been holding you back, a quiet confirmation that the old record has been wiped clean, and you are stepping into a new chapter of your own life. You are worthy of that, and you are not walking alone. Please press like if you believe God is moving, and comment Amen to receive the blessing today.